So it's been a few weeks since Apple gave us one of their biggest update ever with iOS 18, and I first got the developers beta literally the day after it was released. I immediately downloaded it and started playing around with it, and I think I'm at a point where we're past the honeymoon phase to where it doesn't seem as massive anymore. So I think it's a perfect time for us to do a massive review to see if it's actually as big as we made it sound like the day it was released. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. So in order to do this review, I think it's only fair that we separate iOS 18 into two different categories, because whenever Apple did introduce it, it's like we had a whole section that was like a regular WWDC, and then Apple later introduced Apple Intelligent, and then they let us know that Apple Intelligence is not going to be supported on all devices. So in order to properly do this, I think it will be best if we separate into two separate categories, from devices that aren't going to get Apple Intelligent and the devices that are going to get Apple Intelligent, which is currently is just the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So starting with the actual iOS 18 without Apple Intelligence, the biggest change that came with iOS 18 was customization and the ability to be able to customize our home screen. So Apple gave us the ability to either turn on dark mode. On top of that, they gave us the ability to change our icons to whatever color we want using tints. And then on top of that, Apple is going to analyze your background image and then give you a suggestion color palette, which looks way better than me trying to do it on myself. But on top of just giving us the ability to change the colors of the icons, Apple also gave us the ability to be able to move icons wherever we want on the grid. The next big feature that came with iOS 18 is the ability to lock apps. So if you don't want anybody getting into your phones, you can simply lock an app by yourself. To take it even a step further, Apple gave us the ability to truly hide an app from our library. So if I'm trying to hide a certain app, let's say Messages for a sec, I have the option of either just locking it or hiding it, and if I hide it, it's gonna put into this hidden folder. The next big thing that got a massive update was Control Center, and with Control Center we have the ability to truly customize it by adding what we actually care about. And on top of that, it's not only limited to one page. Now you can create multiple pages. You can resize different widgets. So let's say you want the music player to be as big as possible, you can make it to where it fills up the whole page. We got some enhancement with Messages and Mail, and with Messages, the first one was with Tapbacks. Tapbacks, instead of us being limited to only a few options, whenever somebody sends us a message and we're trying to react to it, Apple opened it to whatever emojis that you have in your library. You can use those as Tapbacks, also your stickers. We're getting the ability to be able to schedule a message, which is a feature Apple calls Send Later. Yeah, speaking of messages, we also got formatting. Apple gave us the option to bold, italicize, underline, strike through individual words. So you can choose to make this word italicized, bold, strike through, underline. It's however you want to do it. And then on top of that, Apple introduced message effects to where you can make each word individually react how you want it using effects. It's so cool. I can't even tell you how much. It's so exciting. But what sucks about it, me using it right now, trying to text my friends who don't have iOS 18, they don't get anything. With the Mail application, one of the biggest things that came with the update is the ability to be able to properly sort your email and so much more. Photo got a massive redesign, which looks really good, and Apple is going to use machine learning and AI to give you truly what you really care about, which is awesome. Those are some of the features that would be coming, or some of the features that I truly loved or enjoy using so far. And this feature would be supporting iPhones as early as the iPhone XS and XS Max line, and then the iPhone SE starting with the second generation, which is mind-blowing. So the people with iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, their iPhone will support Apple's new version of AI. So Apple introduced a new version of AI they decided to call Apple Intelligence, which is like the corniest thing ever, but that is the Apple thing to do. And to be honest, I actually like it. But anyways, so what Apple Intelligence is, in the nutshell, it's Apple's new artificial intelligence. So With it, we get new writing tools, and these writing tools will work anywhere you're typing pretty much, because they're going to run on device. So whether it's you sending out a message, sending out an email, or just replying to somebody on, I'm assuming, WhatsApp or any other application, Apple Intelligence will support it. So what it's going to do is going to use AI, Apple Intelligence, to be able to give us a nice little summary of what we typed. Or let's say you typed a message or an email with an anger tone and you're trying to change the tone, Apple Intelligence will be able to go ahead and give you a much better, much sweeter, much calmer tone, just all by running everything on device. The next thing that's coming with the Apple Intelligence, it's the ability to be able to generate stuff. So starting with emojis, we'll be able to create any emoji that we can imagine using emoji generation that they called Genimoji or Gemoji, however they say it. So sticking with the whole generation, they also have this new thing called the image playground, which will allow us to generate an image or picture that we want, which will give us the ability to be able to generate an image simply through words. So Apple also introduced a new thing that they call the image playground, which will give us the ability to simply type in words and then generate a picture just simply by words, which is a tool that's been here for a while, but it's finally coming to Apple for free in iOS 18. But by far, one of my favorite things that came with Apple Intelligence is the fact that Siri got a massive update. So Siri will be able to understand us simply from us speaking to it, and it will be able to respond to us in a much clearer tone, almost like we're having a natural conversation, or you're having a natural conversation with a human. So it will have more intelligence as it's responding to us, and we won't have to hear that annoying sound saying, hey, I found this on the web, which is awesome, because for anything that it's going to determine that it can process or it can come up with answers on its own, it's going to revamp to third-party models like ChatGPT, which is the only one that Apple is using right now, but they hinted that other models could come later. But what's nice about it is the fact that Apple is giving us artificial intelligence, and we're also going to keep that secure or security that we love from Apple. But there's so much more that's coming with Apple Intelligence. I think the bummer or the only downside is the fact that some of these features we won't be getting them this year, but because even with me having the beta on my phone, we still don't have access to Apple Intelligence. Apple said it's supposed to be coming later this summer or early this fall, but all we're doing is just waiting. So back to the question, is iOS 18 actually as good as everybody making it sound? Yes, with a caveat. So if you're planning to use it on an iPhone 15 and 15 Plus line or any other models before, yes, you're gonna enjoy it because of this new customization, messages feature, and so much more. I think it's actually really good, and with them giving us the ability to fully customize our home screen and lock screen from last year, I think it would be nice having different or seeing what you personally can do to make your iPhone look apart. But I think the fact that you are going to lock on all the Apple Intelligence stuff, it's kind of a bummer, which takes me for anybody that has the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max or any newer iPhone that's going to follow. It's a bomb. It's the best. I mean, I can't really say until I get my hands on Apple Intelligence, but based on what everything Apple gave us, I'm super excited. And I can see a lot of people upgrade to the newer iPhones just to have the Apple Intelligence on it. So the short version is like, yeah, it is still as good. I'm still loving it. After the 3 weeks that I've had it, it's still awesome. Every single day I wake up, I feel like I'm using a brand new device, and I can't even imagine how everything's gonna be whenever I fully have Apple Intelligence on my phone. Whew, I can't wait. But hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share my content. We just hit 250 subscribers. We're climbing up slowly but surely, and I truly appreciate every single one of you. So if you are new to the channel, a sub would be much appreciated. And yeah,